Course 2, Study Guide 2. Number 1. 7 dimes is what fraction of a dollar? Well, we know 7 dimes is 70 cents. And then we know a dollar is 10 dimes, which is 100 cents. And then we can divide by 10 over 10, and that will give us 7 over 10. So that's the fraction. And then if you go back to the 70 over 100 for the percent, then percent is based on 100, which is 70%. Number 2, how many 2/3 are in 1? So let's divide 1 by 2/3. Okay, the first one stays the same. I'm going to write that as 1. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and make it 1 over 1. We change it to multiplication, and we take the reciprocal of the second fraction. So now we have 3 over 2. You can leave it that way if you want to. That's your answer. Or you can write that as 1 1/2. When you divide 2 into 3, it goes 1 time with 1 remainder. So we've got 1 1/2 as the how many 2/3 are in 1. You can do it either this way or this way. 6 2/3 is an improper fraction. If you go the long way, you've got 6. If you change 6 to 3 over 3, add it 6 times, and then add the 2/3 to it. But we find that the shortcut to that is multiply the 6 times 3, which is 18, and add the 2, and you get 20 over 3. Okay. Arrange these numbers in order from least to greatest. Which of the numbers is not an integer? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is look at a number line. And 1/2 would be right here. -2 is back here, and I'm going to label it up above it again. 2 is up here, and then 0 is right here. So we have them in order as -2, 0, 1/2, and 2. And which one of these is not an integer? Well, you notice the numbers that I put on the number line here are my integers, and 1/2 is not an integer. Number 5, use the numbers 2, 3, and 6 to illustrate associative property of multiplication. Well, associative property says that we can take numbers and regroup them, but we don't rearrange them. So I'm going to go ahead and write 2 times 3 times 6 equals 2 times 3 times 6. Now, you could put those in order, any order you want to, but you've got to put them in the same order on both sides. Now we're going to regroup them. Commutative would let us rearrange them, but associative is going to let us regroup them. So I'm going to start with those two first, and then I'm going to end with those two. And again, you could have switched those around different ways, but whatever you do here, you've got to keep the numbers in the same order, and then you can just put the parentheses into whatever group you want. Number 6, what fraction of the rectangle is shaded? Well, notice there's 6 sections, and 2 of them are shaded. And so we will divide by 2 over 2, and we get 1/3. So what fraction is not shaded of the 6 sections? The 4 that are not shaded, divide by 2 over 2, and we get 2/3. And the 1/3 plus the 2/3 give us 3/3, which is the entire rectangle that we had to start with. Okay, we need all the factors of 12. That means the numbers that will go into 12. Well, you can do them. We can go over here and do them by multiplication. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, and that's going to be it because 6 times 2 is going to be the next one. So let's put those in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And then 28 is 1 times 28. And you may not think about this one, but there's 2 times 14. You don't want to forget that one. And then 4 times 7. And then they'll start repeating when you go back. So we've got, in order, 1, 2, 4, 7, 14, and 28. Be sure you put those in order. It makes it a whole lot easier to see what they have alike. So all the factors they have alike are 1, and 2, and 4. So the greatest one is the greatest one in that list, which is 4. Number 8. 234 plus some number equals 512. Well, to be able to find that number, it's going to be smaller than this because we're adding it to the 234. Then we're going to go and take the 512 and take 234 from it. And we need to do a little bit of borrowing. So I'm going to go ahead and borrow my 1 here. And so I've got 4 from 12 is 8. Can't take 3 from 0, so we'll borrow again. So 3 from 10 is 7, and 2 from 4 is 2. So x equals 278. Now, let's go over here and check that and see if that does work. And we haven't been doing a lot of checking. But let's take 234 plus the 278, and let's check it. 4 plus 8 is 12. Carry 1. 3 plus 4. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 7 is 11. 2, 4, 5. And they did add up to 512. So x is 278. Okay, number 9. 24 times some number is 120. So let's divide 24 into 120. And I believe if you go about doing it, I believe 5, and when I multiply, it's going to give me exactly 120. So m is equal to 5. Now again, let's check it and see that that works. So let's see if 24 times 5 is 120. 4 times 5, which I did right here, is the 120, so that verifies that that is the correct answer.